Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Just going to give it another moment to let everybody get into the webinar. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the webinar, How to Deliver a Successful Virtual Conference and Expo. Today, we're going to talk about how you can design, plan, and deliver a virtual conference that satisfies all your key stakeholders, including attendees, exhibitors, sponsors, and speakers. We're going to cover the essential elements of a virtual event, some important items to consider when building your virtual event, and ideas for keeping your attendees engaged. At the end, we'll share a quick tour of our virtual event center solution, which is designed to help you transition all the elements of your in-person event online. Before we get started, I want to call your attention to the Q&A menu. Please feel free to type your questions in the tab at any time, and we'll respond to your questions there. So some quick introductions. My name is Katie Cook. I'm the Senior Marketing Specialist for the Event Tech Group. And today I'm presenting with my colleague, Scott Andrick, who's one of our sales executives. Scott, would you like to say hello?
Hello, and thank you for joining.
All right, well, we have a lot of great information to share with within the next 30 minutes, but really quickly, I just want to give a little bit of information about us for those that might not be familiar. We are part of the Event Tech Group, which is a division within Community Brands. Our mission is to optimize event management by bringing the best technologies together with the goal of streamlining event planning and delivery. Perhaps you've used or heard of our award-winning solutions, which include Attendee Interactive, Configio, Core Apps, Expo Logic, and Trip Builder Media. By bringing these technologies together, we're able to offer what we call the Event Tech suite of solutions for end-to-end event management. The suite includes 12 software modules, which you see here, and the goal of the suite is to simplify event management for organizers by providing every software solution you need to run a successful event in one place and from one provider. And now we have our virtual conference solution, which includes live and recorded education sessions, exhibition halls, networking lounges, live chat, polling, and surveys. All right, so the focus of today's webinar is on how to deliver a successful virtual conference. So let's jump right in. First, let's talk about the essential components of a virtual event. These components are education, live engagement and networking, entertainment, exhibition, and sponsorships. These are critical components to having a successful event. We're going to go through each one and discuss considerations for bringing these into a virtual event and how you can adapt your virtual conference to satisfy all attendee types. Let's start with virtual education sessions. There are several things to consider when putting together virtual education sessions that would not normally apply for in-person meetings. The first thing to think through is time zones. Since attendees are not traveling to one location and can be in several time zones, you want to think through how to account for that. If attendees are across several time zones, there are a couple ways you can address it. You can either segment your event into smaller events by time zone and inform attendees to register for their time zone, or you can still do one large event and record your general or opening sessions and have a live chat or discussion facilitated by a moderator within each time zone so there still is live engagement. The first scenario of segmenting your event by time zone makes scheduling and live engagements a bit easier, but it does limit your attendees from interacting with anyone outside of their time zone if events are segmented. Mostly what we're seeing are organizations are sticking with one large event, but building in some live sessions or engagement by time zone. This, of course, leads into the second consideration point, which is whether to have live or recorded education sessions. It's important that if you choose to do recorded sessions, that you build time into your event planning schedule to meet with speakers and record their sessions. Recording does give you and your speakers more flexibility when it comes to coordinating schedules, but eliminates the speaker's ability to conduct any live polls or respond to questions from attendees during their presentation. A happy medium might be to record a presentation and then have the speaker join the live event for 10 to 15 minutes of Q&A. You also want to be sure to train your speakers and attendees on how to use the virtual platform. For many people, navigating a virtual conference is a totally new experience. So you want to set some time aside in your schedule to train all of your stakeholders, including attendees, exhibitors, speakers, for example, on how to use the system and where they can ask questions if they do have any. You also need to be cognizant of the split focus of the attendee. Unlike at an in-person event where attendees have escaped distractions and blocked off their entire day to participate in your event, virtual event attendees are likely working from home, juggling distractions, maybe being interrupted by their kids, and probably still doing some work in between sessions. So because of this, we recommend you modify your virtual event schedule to not take up a full day, but maybe spread it across a few days with sessions and activities scheduled for just a part of each day. This gives your attendees a chance to manage those other priorities and distractions. Next, let's talk about the length of an event. Again, thinking about attendee distractions and competing priorities, you want to adjust your event schedule, especially if your conference traditionally has many concurrent sessions. We're seeing some events with hundreds of sessions spread out over a week or more to increase the chances that the virtual attendees can attend all or some of the sessions. Also important are building in frequent breaks so attendees can fit in calls or have time to grab a snack. You also want to think about posting and promoting your schedule ahead of time so your attendees can schedule their day and be available during session times. Sending an Outlook calendar invite might be helpful as well so they can block out the time. Polling and surveys. These are key elements for getting attendee feedback and keeping them engaged. If you're doing live education sessions, let your speakers know that they can ask for immediate feedback from their virtual audience and to incorporate poll questions if they like. You can and should survey your attendees at the end of each day to find out how they're liking the conference or certain sessions. Of course, offering virtual discussion groups and breakout sessions help attendees to keep the conversation going, and we're going to get into that in a bit. Let's talk a bit about the second essential component to a successful event, engagement and networking. Sitting at home or at work while participating in a virtual event doesn't present some of the normal networking opportunities of an in-person event, such as talking to other attendees during a session or a reception. So how do you achieve quality engagement and facilitate networking in the virtual event space? Well, like I just mentioned, interactive polls and periodic surveys will help your audience actively participate in your event. Make sure to build these into your program so that way your attendees feel like they're contributing and not just watching a TV broadcast from home. Also, live chat that's visible to everyone can make attendees feel like they're part of something larger. I recommend having someone from your organization seed questions or comments into the live chat to keep the conversation going and respond to what people post. This will add enthusiasm to your event. One of the great things about an in-person event is the ability to ask questions or have an impromptu meeting with a speaker after they present. And just because your event is virtual doesn't mean you need to sacrifice that experience. Consider offering a green room or meet the speaker discussion room after each session so attendees can ask questions and interact. And virtual breakout sessions for a small group of people to discuss a presentation or current industry challenge can also give attendees the opportunity to meet. Attendees can participate in a live chat discussion about certain topics, and I would recommend you have a moderator in each group. You could also offer virtual networking hours based on location or regions, professional interests, or career titles. This would allow folks to meet people in their area or others with similar interests or careers. It's helpful to segment these networking sessions and keep the attendee size small so quality conversation can occur. Or You can do an open virtual networking hour and give attendees the option to enter a private conversation when they meet people in the room. Again, having a moderator to include some icebreakers and discussion topics helps greatly. Entertainment. Entertainment is a very important element of the in-person event experience and something that should still be included in the virtual experience. We as humans love to be entertained, and entertainment adds energy and excitement to your event. It's also a shared experience that attendees can discuss in their networking hour or on their online breakout sessions. So you want to invest some quality entertainment. So you can really get creative with the entertainment for an online event. You now have access to musicians across the world, not just the city that you're hosting your event in. So you have the option to find some really talented musicians and live stream their performances. You can even have them take song requests from attendees via the live chat, which could be fun. Another idea is live performance art. Maybe this is a choreographed dance or a live painting display. You want to try and find a performance that's unique and will surprise and delight your audience. And who doesn't love a cooking demonstration? I do. Consider hiring a chef or cooking enthusiast to do a live demonstration of a unique recipe, and you can invite attendees to try it at home. You can even send out the ingredient list ahead of time and have attendees participate by sending in photos of their creations. You can also hire a prominent speaker in your industry or a celebrity speaker, just like you would at your in-person event. You can make it fun and interactive for your virtual attendees by inviting them to submit questions for your speaker. And consider having a moderator do a live Q&A session with the speaker using those attendee submitted questions. Finally, you could add some gamification to your event with a live trivia hour where you could divide your attendees into teams and have them compete. So really feel free to get creative with the entertainment in your virtual event because there are so many options to choose from. The last element of a successful virtual event is the exhibition and sponsorship piece. Exhibitions and sponsorships generate a significant revenue for most events and are crucial for attracting industry partners to your event. Just like you would promote your in-person event to exhibitors and sponsors, you need to do the same for your virtual event. Find ways for exhibitors and sponsors to participate in your event and promote the value to them for participating. Be sure to create a prospectus with virtual opportunities for them to promote their brands. Some great virtual sponsorship ideas are offering branded signs in your virtual lobby. Scott is going to show us what that can look like within our platform here soon. You can give sponsors an opportunity to share a short message or a promotional video at the beginning of your education sessions. And you can offer sponsored entertainment and have sponsors' logos appear on the screen during your entertainment. You can also offer sponsored discussion or networking sessions, or even have them moderate a session. Consider offering them counts of how many people entered their sponsored session so they can get an idea of the level of visibility they achieved. And beyond sponsorships, you can move your entire exhibit hall online if you wish. You can offer customizable and fully branded virtual exhibit booths where attendees can enter the booths and chat live with exhibitors. Consider providing exhibitors with the contact information and chat logs for anyone that entered their booth so they can follow up with interested attendees. Just be sure if you do offer a virtual exhibition to include time on your calendar of events for attendees to visit the hall and interact with your exhibitors. So now that we've gone through the essential components of a successful virtual conference and discussed strategies for planning each component, let's look at an example of what a virtual event could look like. Scott is going to walk us through a virtual event developed within our platform, the Virtual Event Center. Scott?
Thanks, Katie. I'm going to share my screen if you're ready. You might need to stop the screen share on your end. All right. Good, thank you. It's great to be here, and those are awesome ideas. You know, one of the fun things, you know, there's nothing really fun actually about what we're all going through, right? It's all different. It's all strange. Everyone's working twice as hard, but you know, there's something cool about that as well, I guess. And we do get to participate in virtual conferences, and I've got an experience I'd like to share. But before I do that, what I wanted to do is introduce Jesse Snipper. He's our Senior Director of Product, and he's actually handling the Q&A portion today. And I haven't seen many questions pop up in any, so I'm not sure if it's working. So if somebody could go in and just say hello to Jesse using the Q&A part of this, that would be good. And let's get him involved. So as we're talking about how we're implementing some of these strategies and some of these ideas using our platform, he's going to provide responses to that. So let's try to keep it nice and interactive. But the one experience I wanted to share, I actually was a speaker at SEMA, which is Corporate Event Marketing Association, last week. They produced their normal live in-person event virtually. And it was 2 full days, 8-hour days of content. It was a lot, kind of a lot for me as well, because, you know, I had a regular job I had to do. I had other things that were going on. It was difficult for me to attend all day, each day. And so what I had to do is I had to kind of pick and choose, right? And that's what your attendees are going to do. They're going to have to pick and choose what they want to view, what they want to see. And going through the schedule, and it was packed. The one event or the one session that stood out to me, and this goes back to Katie's original conversation about entertainment, was an executive chef sponsored by the Nashville City and Convention Bureau that was going to take us to her outdoor kitchen in her backyard and show us all how to do skirt steak using a marinade recipe she was sharing with us. Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't sign up for the conference to see that session, but it was interesting and it was really cool and it meant something to me. And I think as you think about your virtual conference coming up and what you're going to do, you're going to want to build in just fun things to do and areas of interest and be really purposeful about driving people to certain things. And if that takes, you know, some more strategy and some more going outside the box, I think this platform allows you to do that. So with that, let's again take a look at our virtual event center place. It's really geared towards organizations that are looking to take all of the in-person conference going experiences and in a completely integrated environment. We've got the education component, including CEUs and networking areas and an exhibit hall to promote commerce. And you really get a tremendous amount of analytics on the back end to learn from and help quantify the ROI. You know, that's really one of the cool things about doing these events online is all that data and the metrics and all the information that's available. We're going to start with, you know, being able to brand your organization in the conference lobby. That's real important. As an organization, you've built community and you've built trust with your members. You should be using a platform that puts your organization on display. These are templates that give you kind of the look and feel of many different options of what a lobby could look like. We can even do custom graphics. We can have attendees come to your headquarters for a conference. We can have them go to a campus, a minor league baseball field. It's really up to you. This here is a conference we just completed for AAFP. They did a really nice job of taking a template and making it their own with their own branding and also with sponsor material right within their lobby area. Go Army, or the Army's one of their largest sponsors. So we had rotating banner ads on the lower right. We had a video playing on the video wall on the upper right. The residency programs and residency fair component of this conference was a big part. We had 500 exhibitors, and sometimes it's hard to search through 500 exhibitors. So we actually put a search mechanism right in the lobby that you could search for types of programs and within states. Again, all very interactive for the attendee. Here's another conference that we just finished, South Carolina School Administrators. They had their conference in person at the same hotel every year, and people got to know it and got to love it, and they really look forward to this event. Well, what we did is we imported graphics from the hotel. So it took a few hours for our team to do that. And we made their online conference look and feel like the hotel they were at, with all the rooms and all the spaces. So I guess in closing about the lobby, it's really a matter of where you want your attendees to be. And I think that's something that you really have to consider and think about. We can drive that look. Your events are representative of you, your team, your organization, the professionalism that you have, and you want to use a platform, again, that can speak to all of that look and feel with your organization. Within the session auditorium, we've got a lot of different options. Education is the #1 reason that people attend virtual conferences. We've got multiple looks and views, again, to match the other rooms or areas within your event. The types of sessions available are virtually limitless. And our recommendation is to really kind of mix it up. Within the area, attendees can view speaker blogs, and they can message the speaker. They can participate live in a keynote or a TED-style talk. They can qualify for CME credits, and they can even earn gamification points if you want to implement a conference-wide contest to encourage engagement. Here is our Experience site. Experience is our community brand's user conference. And here's a quick look at what that might look like. So one of our product experts that works for Jesse's team, Lauren, is on a video right here. And again, on the left-hand side is where we can display sessions by day, by type, by track. The #2 reason past education is that people attend conferences is to meet other people, right? That networking component. We've got networking lounges through our site. They have to be designed with a purpose and have a goal. Why should people go to our networking lounge? What are they going to see? What are they going to do? How are they going to behave? How do we want them to engage, right? It's a really great place to offer that entertainment that Katie described, or maybe sponsored product demonstrations. We want to encourage interaction and the sharing of experiences as well. Within AAFP that just completed, they had 4 lounges that they used. They took one of the lounges here to share inspiring stories from members. We thought it was a great idea, so we said, yes, let's do it. We changed these up daily, so they were able to deliver 27 separate positive messages or clips within this space. They even created a national conference Zoom background that was really cool, that attendees could download from this lounge if you look in the upper right-hand corner. We have group chat on the upper left-hand corner. We have private or whisper chat on the lower left-hand corner. And we have video chat within the platform, one-to-one video chat. Soon we'll have small group video chat as well. I think those chat functionality is super important throughout the entire event. You can have people chatting with one another in the lobby area. You could have your CEO welcoming members as they come into the conference using a chat feature. We have exhibitors and sponsors and people that are in exhibitors and sponsors booths chatting as well and meeting people somewhat face-to-face online, but it's very, very helpful, and it really increases that engagement as well. We've got help desks just like you would at your in-person events. They can be staffed by your team or by our team or a combination. One of the recent programs that we did asked attendees to stop by this help desk and share one thing that they've learned throughout the day of education and a goal for the next day. The cool thing about asking people to share goals for the next day is it almost was like crowdsourcing functionality to modify the content mid-show. With only a couple slides left, let's talk about exhibitors and sponsors and the commerce side of events. At Community Brands, we're focused on leveraging the products and solutions to help organizations monetize their event. Our Expo logic uses matchmaking to print sponsor logos on the back of name badges according to product interest. We can do the same thing within the virtual event center. Our mobile apps also offer targeted pushes and geofence alerts for custom messaging. So let's match up your exhibitors and sponsors and attendees. Let's give them make it easy for them to connect. Your halls that are created within the event center can match a unique purpose of having sponsors and exhibitors of any type at your event. The locations or the real estate in a virtual environment is just as important as it is in person. And these halls can be developed by product type, by product category, by sponsor level, whether it's titanium or platinum. We have flexibility to set up your halls however that you'd like. Once they click on a logo or they click on a booth, they get taken into that exhibit booth area. And there we've got customized brandable trade show booths and really designed to allow your exhibitors to share whatever they feel important to the attendees. They can share product demos, they can share videos, they can share downloadable content. The staff can be online during trade show hours to text and video chat with customers. If you've got 5 booth personnel at a time, they can carry on 5 conversations at a time. So that engagement is really ramped up in this online environment. Again, we can offer the matchmaking pre-show and encourage users to schedule appointments. Let's take a look at that GoCo booth in a little more detail because it's a really cool booth. So that's the actual CEO in the photo of GoCo. They've got a reminder in the lower left corner graphic about a webcast session that they're sponsoring. The Leave a Business Card section has a promotional drawing for an Apple Watch. They have a video in the center, and finally there are a lot of downloadable materials on the right. You can also use that space on the right for other active links to sites, products, or blogs. Here's another booth with all kinds of great links, including a screen share link for the exhibitor to do impromptu presentations for attendees within their booth. And finally, I've got a lot of great ideas on how to retain and grow revenue in this virtual environment. And we're happy to share those ideas. Many of those strategies are in a sponsorship kit that we can share with you to spur ideas and ways to encourage commerce and trade show interaction. In many ways, the virtual platform actually lends itself to a better exhibiting experience than in person. It really results in better leads and better analytics. We've got a tremendous amount of positive feedback from shows that we've produced over the last 2 months. What I would say is task your key sponsors and work with them to achieve their goals. Again, a lot of these ideas and strategies are located within our sponsorship kit. So we're willing to hand that out. What I would suggest is if you're interested in a copy of this today, go into the Q&A part, leave your name and just a quick note that you'd like to see the sponsorship kit, and we can send that to you afterwards via email. So hopefully, Jesse, you get a lot of people that go into Q&A and put in their name. If you want to take 30 seconds to do that, that would be great, and we'll follow up with that sponsorship kit after this webinar. So with that, what I want to do is turn it back over to Katie. Maybe she can just wrap this up. I hope you learned 1 or 2 things, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Katie?
Thank you, Scott. That was great. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We appreciate your questions, and if for some reason we didn't get to your question during the webinar, we will follow up with you by email. We hope you found this information helpful, and if anything we mentioned piqued your interest and you'd like to continue the conversation, please let us know. We'd be happy to talk with you about your specific needs. We'll be sending out an email shortly with a recording of this webinar and a link where you can request a demo or schedule time to speak with one of our virtual conference experts. So watch out for that email later today. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us, and I hope you have a great day.